Hello, Stickers and Scuffs friends. We are thrilled to bring you another episode of the podcast tonight in partnership with our esteemed friends at North American Source Solutions. Led by the dynamic duo of Pops Campbell and Steve Kleine, NOS offers a comprehensive range of professional services designed to fuel the growth of North American companies. With their expertise in logistics management, outsourcing, sales management, manufacturing support, marketing strategy, nearshoring, and much more, NOS serves as a one-stop solution provider for all your growth needs. Whether you require assistance in locating the right suppliers or want to optimize your manufacturing processes, NOS is here to help. Their sourcing capabilities enable companies to tap into a vast network, bringing products from all around the world to North America, ensuring a local presence without compromising quality. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to expand your business. Reach out to Pops and Steve at NOS today and embark on a journey towards success.
Hi, this is Mario Andretti, and you're tuned into Cam, Graydon, and the team as Stickers and Scuffs podcast. They're true Canadian racing fans.
Hello, Stickers and Scuffs friends and family. We are back here with a brand new episode, and it's an episode that's long been awaited because really since January of this past year, when I first met these two gentlemen and realized that, man, we are in for some fun, have we wanted to have them on the show. And now it's almost expanded to a part where they are more than just friends of ours. They are team owners. They've employed a specific co-host of ours who will remain nameless, but he did a pretty good job driving for them. And Pops Campbell and Steve Kleine of CampGroundCrew Racing. Yes, the official CampGroundCrew Racing. It's got Graydon so excited he's knocking cameras over.
Pops Campbell, expletive language already. Jeez.
Steve Kleine. Now we're gonna have the expletive marked on our podcast for that. But Steve and Pops, how are we doing tonight?
Fantastic, guys. Fantastic. Thanks for having us. I got to tell you, we've been looking forward to this all season, and now that we're done racing for 2023, it's great to be able to sit down and chat with you guys a little bit, sort of maybe recap the year and talk about next year. Really appreciate it. Pops?
Absolutely.
Yeah, looking forward to it. We had a great year, made a lot of advances. We did have that unknown driver in our car. He did all right. We'll see what the future brings for him.
Absolutely. And I'm going to start this off, Graydon, because I know you've got way more questions because you have talked so much about these two gentlemen and about this team. And I mean, I met you guys at Motorama and you guys treated me like I was a celebrity and it was crazy. And we built that relationship. We got the sticker on the car right away. And from that moment on, you guys have been repping us and we absolutely love it. But where did this whole CampGroundCrew Racing come from? Because you talked about it with me at Motorama and I love the story. I love that the rookie stripe does not have an age limit. I love it, love it, love it. So let's talk how this whole thing came together.
Well, Steve started about 2 years ago We have our trailer up at Sauble Falls Tent and Trailer Park in Sauble Beach. We're good friends with Andrew Grizel with the 81 and the Prolates. I spot for him on his United 8 car. We both pit for him sometimes when he needs us on the Prolate car. And Steve kept saying to me, one day we're going to have a 4-cylinder. And I kept saying, no way. Not doing it. Not doing it. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. And then one night we got sitting around the campfire at my trailer. And I think there was a couple of beverages involved. I'm not 100% sure.
Not at your trailer.
No, you know how that works, right, Graydon?
Yeah.
So our other team owner, Johnny Cossins, and his girlfriend Kathy, were with us, and Andrew was there, and his dad Paul, and we were sitting around the campfire, and Paul kept bugging us, and Paul is a partner in the track. And the next thing we know, he said, you got to get a car. You got to get a car. And then Steve started on me. And then John said, well, I'm in. And then Kathy said, well, I'm in. And I thought, well, you can't float alone. You need me. So the next day we bought a car. and we actually took Paul's trailer from the park that weekend, picked the car up down here in Brampton, and took it up to John's place, and within a couple of weeks, she was ready for the track, and that's where CampGroundCrew started from, and that's where the name came from.
Yeah, now talk about the car itself. For those of you who don't know, the guy they're talking to is me. I have had the pleasure of driving that hot rod. It's a great little car. Talk about kind of the journey of the purchase and the transformation into running at Sauble Speedway with it.
Certainly. We actually picked that car up as a former bone stock from, it had run at Flamborough for a bunch of years, ended up at Peterborough for a year, and then got listed up for sale. The fellow that had bought it last decided he wasn't going to race that. He wanted to go right to hot rods. So we ended up picking it up. It was still in a bone stock form, bone stock, pure stock, whatever. We got it up there and we thought, hey, we got ourselves a hot rod, and took it out for a few laps and realized we had a bit of work to do. So we started with, in the first year, we did some work to the motor, just getting the engine, getting the head done. And after that, it was just all suspension mods. We just kept playing with it a bit, just adjusting it so we still have some work to do with the toe and stuff, but just get right to camber and playing around with rims and tires. We learned a lesson at one point that we definitely need a race rim on that front right tire. So we did that. Yeah. We actually did both on the right-hand side, which I think paid off great. Mm-hmm. At least it's not going to fly apart. So yeah. And we got it by the end of the season. We were pretty close. We were getting down to the breakout time with our one driver. He hit the fastest lap this year. We were really impressed. It took at least a second and a half off that car through the year, which was a big difference. And again, all handling. Now we just need to have a little bit more power.
And that's coming. Yeah. When the car came to us first, when we put it on the track up at Sauble Speedway, it looked like a beach dune buggy. Yeah. It was about 8 inches off the ground, back end sticking up in the air. It looked like it went downhill all the time. Now it lays flat. We got her down. We got it looking like a really good hot rod. It handles well. But we got some things coming for that car in 2024. Over this winter, we're going to see if we can put a few more ponies under the hood, just so we can keep out. Like Steve said, we actually got the car to run from a 19.7 down to an 18 flat, and Johnny actually ran it at a 17.96 for a lap. So the car's there. We just got to help it along a little bit.
Absolutely. And that's something that we talked a fair bit about around that campfire one night, was just that actual for you guys as young team owners and shaving tangible times off the car and seeing the fruits of your labor and making it go faster. I mean, like, that's on you guys. wrenching on it, doing the suspension mods, as you said, and making that thing have the pace to start. And the breakout times aside, that like whether that stands for 2024 or not, but I mean, the fact that you guys had a starting point and moved so far away from that in a good way has to be a good feeling for you guys, right?
It was amazing, and not only a great feeling, but just to be able to see every time you make a little change, the difference it made in that car, and with all the drivers, you know. And I gotta thank Pops. He drove for the first half of the year, and so it was great to have a consistent driver that gives you the feedback every single time, make a little change. But there were a lot of big changes. We made a lot. I mean, we had help along the way too. It wasn't just us. Again, shout out to Andrew Gressel. He came out and he helped us wrench on that thing. He gave us ideas. He brought other people in to look at it and talk about it. What do you have to do to make this thing take the corners better? Because that's really the only place that car could pick up time, was in the corners. Yeah. Right. And we focused on that this year. Now, like Pop said, a few more ponies under the hood, basically rebuild the motor, because that one's pretty hurting. Yeah. It certainly was by the end of the year. But it felt kind of bad when you got in her, Graydon, because she did not have the power it had even 6 races before that. But it was still good. It was still fun.
Oh, friggin' right. Pedal to the metal, boys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you had to, or you wouldn't go.
Don't miss third, though, right?
Oh, hey, you know where fifth gear is, don't you, buddy?
Like I'm getting on the 407, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Cam. That car really has a wonky transmission in it, and you got to run it in third gear. So that what we're laughing about is third is when you come out of second to get into third, if you're not real careful, she goes into fifth and just dogs and dies. Yeah. And then the whole field passes you. So it's a great experience.
So maybe there wasn't a traffic problem there in Graydon. Maybe when I saw you.
Oh no, like you can see it perfectly in my onboard when you see the tack go like wham 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 like that. That's me hunting for third because I nailed fifth instead, and it falls on its face, and then me regrouping quick for third.
Well, every car's got that. Every car's got some character to it, and it definitely.
I love that car though, boys.
It's got a ton of character behind it, and you're kind of in tough because you're in a division that is combined fours, which typically we'd look at. A lot of mini stocks are in this division. Yes. So you guys have a heavier car. So you're already at a bit of a disadvantage. But as great, I mean, we definitely saw you guys picked it up over the year. And let's learn a little bit more about Sauble Speedway's combined Ford division, because you do have some great competitors in that division that you're racing with. Some as young as, I think it was like 13, 14 years old. So it's got to be fun to be going out and racing with those guys, right, Pops?
Oh, it was fantastic. I had some fun with it being the oldest rookie up there. We had some little guys come in. Well, if you take Ryder White, for instance, he's 13 years old. Layla's 14. But this guy here really amazed me. I don't know if you can see that, but that's a picture of Lucas Chapman.
Yeah.
And myself. There it is.
He acts older than you do, Pops.
Yeah, I know. well, that's because he's more mature.
Yeah.
That was a picture after race. Lucas actually came up and raced with us at Sauble, and Lucas is 9 years old. So there's a 9-year-old and a 66-year-old rookie. So that's the kind of camaraderie and fun that goes on at Sauble. The Speedway's a great speedway, as you know, Graydon. The track's fun to drive. Mm-hmm. All the people and the staff and everything that runs Sauble are just second to none. Take care of us like all drivers. Just every driver there, it's very well run and managed. Got a new general manager this year. Looking forward to our drivers meeting this Saturday. So anybody out there that wants to come, it's going to be up at Sauble at what is it, Pinehurst or
Pinewoods Golf Course?
Pinewoods Golf Course,
right beside the track.
Yeah, from 11 till 6 next Saturday. So anybody out there that wants to come up, the combined four division, as you said, Cam, is a little tricky, but with the breakout, it kind of equalizes. So you can get a good bone stock like Chris Lawrence was up running.
Mm-hmm.
His cars would stick up to the front, like he does other stuff to his cars too. He won't tell me much, but I'm going to still pick on his brain.
Yeah, you could get it out of him. You could get it out of him.
Oh, I will. I just got to get him by a campfire.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes,
Might not even need to be by a campfire. Just like 5 minutes after the race.
Yeah, true enough. Just get him in the trailer. Yeah, we'll be good to go. Yeah, so and the track is really good, and there's unique things like that's our track. We don't travel to track because of the way our car's set up. And the track even has programs set up. We rent a container. We have a 20-foot container that we rent from the track. And when we're done at the end of the night, we push our car in the container and lock the door, come back next week on the Friday for practice and roll it out, which is very economical because we're not doing all that towing up and down the road. We don't need a $20,000 trailer and a $35,000 truck to pull it. So that makes it very economical for a team like ours. Plus, we have 5 sponsors now. Owners. My son, Matt, just jumped on as an owner after the off season. So we got 5 drivers. So it's the rookie strike can't come off, Cam.
No, but you know what? The more and more that you get people involved, the better it is. And I think for ourselves, you know, this is still a new thing for even us. I mean, we started this podcast covering the Pinty series and NASCAR, Xfinity, and trucks. But when we started to get more into the weekly racing, that's where the love and the passion, I think, has really come through, because it shows that you guys are the ones that are showing us that love and that passion with what you guys do each and every week. Sauble Speedway, for example, is a track that I think a lot of people may not be aware of. They don't know much about it. So for us, having the connection of you guys racing out there, having a particular driver, guest in the 81 car also makes it a big deal. But what can you sell us on for Sauble Speedway other than just, yes, the people behind the scenes? What about the track itself? When you're driving on that track, what is it about that track that sells it?
It's freaking nasty. I hate it. It is a very challenging track, to be honest with you, Cam, especially for a rookie driver. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 are not the same. They don't react the same. 1 and 2 are narrower. 3 and 4 is a little wider. The pavement itself, she's old. She's got a lot of character. They fixed a little bump in 1 and 2 that I really like. It almost seems like, you know, you listen to NASCAR, you listen to people, and for a guy like me, you hear temperature change, sun in, cloud stuff. That thing does it whenever it wants to. It can change from lap to lap. And I've heard the stories of the sand blowing on it. I've never experienced that. I'm sure guys can attest to it. But it's a really fun track to drive. And it's a challenging track, right? And you know that.
Yeah, it is. As you said, all those things, Pops. It's a track that I was looking forward to driving, but it wasn't the one that I thought I would take to like I did. I really enjoyed the layout of it, just the feel of it. And as you said, 1 and 2 being so much narrower in terms of the groove than 3 and 4, like you can really that sets itself up well to good finishes when you can really lay the power down off of 3 and 4 and maybe like go wide to flare out towards the stripe or whatever. So, I mean, to just kind of have the laps on the track to get a feel for that, and to have as much fun as I did in my first race there, it was pretty cool. And one thing I'd like to touch on just too, the unique spectator setup in terms of the course slabs where you can bring your camping chairs and stuff. Kind of just speak to the spectator experience, boys.
Yeah, well, the spectator side of it's really cool. Like Steve and I spot there and stuff, or Andrew, and
as far as spotters are concerned too.
Yeah. Like the nice thing is the track, the grandstands are at the perfect level.
Yes.
Like, you know how sometimes you get to the track and if you're in the bottom row, all you see is the top of the wall.
Yep.
You don't get that at Sauble.
No.
You get
it's matched perfectly.
Vision. You get vision. The backs of the stands are closed in, so when the wind comes blowing through, you're not freezing cold or, you know, it's the top row, like Graydon said, you can put lawn chairs along, and they're concrete. They're not wood, so you don't get the splinters in your legs. You know what I mean? They do get a little warm.
Yeah.
In the summer, you do want to bring a blanket with you so you don't sit down and stick to it like you do a leather seat in a car with a sunroof. But the visual of anywhere in the stands, all the way from corner 4, where the chute is, where the cars come out of the pits, all the way up to corner 1, there is not a bad seat in that place. No. They also have a VIP tower there for any, like the larger companies that want to rent out the VIP, and they have full service and everything there, plus the track is licensed. They have a rooftop with a pergola on it, so you can be out, and that is beautiful view. That's really good. You can almost see to the beach. Like it's really, really unique. Yeah, it's the fan experience is great. It's really good.
And then you just touched on it there too, Pops, and this is something that Sauble Speedway is sort of unique to its other counterparts in Ontario, especially in terms of it being a tourism-oriented track. I mean, we talked about this summer too, where a lot of the other tracks have all the tracks have their percentage of dedicated fans. Sauble has to rely on attracting new fans year over year, more so than others, being such a tourist destination that it is. And like you said, Pops, it's minutes from the beach. For my family, my wife, she loves the beach. She loves hiking. I mean, we all do, but I mean, outside of racing, I can spend the whole weekend at the track, as you guys know. But I mean, for bringing the whole fam jam to a place like Sauble Beach, it does have something for everyone, and that's kind of the nice part of having a track there. The challenge that it comes to the ownership and the marketing group, the hat dance happening.
Pops knows what to do for his partners.
The famous Pops Campbell hat dance. On
he knows how to support the partners. Shout out Corey McAllister.
There you go. But yeah, just also, if you guys would just kind of touch on that in terms of kind of the unique environment that Sauble finds itself in.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, the big thing with Sauble is the tourism. Because it's such a tourist-based area.
Like Muskoka.
Like Muskoka, exactly. Again, you're trying to attract new visitors every week. Like not just every year, but every week. Right. They'll take a truck down to the beach with a sign on it just so that people are aware of the track's there. But you have a lot of different things for families to do there, whether they're down at the beach swimming, sitting on the beach, playing mini golf, off climbing that jungle gym thing. I'm not even sure what that's called.
Yeah, Skyline or something.
Skyline, but a lot of great things down there to do. So it attracts a lot of tourists. The big thing is, how do we get the tourists in the seats? And I think just by getting guys like us and the other teams that came out that are willing to throw some money at it, have some fun. I mean, the smiles are worth everything. So it's not expensive when you think about the smiles you get. But that's how you attract them up from the beach. Hey, come see these guys.
Yeah.
You're not going to just see one class of car. Typically every night we run, 4 or 5 classes of cars, and it makes a great event every night. There's big shows for sure. They're great. But even on the regular nights, there's always a good show for people to come out and see. We work hard to get the kids out there. We had our car out front a few times, just sitting kids in it, things like that, so that fans get to see things up close, touch things. There's an event they do at the beach where some of the cars go down to the beach every year. Again, attract new fans, show them what we've got, and hopefully we're there next year. We didn't make it this year.
We will be there next year. Ryder White takes his car down every Tuesday night to the for the car show, the Ride and Shine. He takes the 88 down and puts it on the beach and lets the people look at it, and because him and his dad, well, his family, they have a trailer at a park just down from us. And like Steve said, we'll put our car on the front lawn of our park.
Mhm.
And people ask questions, what's that about? And it's just attracting that touristy thing, because you've been on the beach all day, you go for something to eat. It's not like you're going to a movie theater on Saturday night. So it's trying to get everybody to understand what the track is about and what it is. And it's entertainment that they wouldn't normally do if they're living in a city.
And that's
we can attract friends that would never do that.
absolutely. And
Because
this
it's
is
holiday time, right?
it's holiday time.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're with, and the biggest thing that you had talked about was families. And that is one of the hardest things to get for the racetracks closer to the city, is to get families to come out to something like that. Whereas if you're already out on vacation, take the kids to the beach, first off, the attraction of just going to the beach in the morning and then spend the day at the beach, go to the track at night, and then back to the trailer.
Beautiful Sauble Beach. Like the beach itself too is amazing.
Absolutely.
Like the whole weekend is a package. Yeah.
And you've got a full package of availability right in that one area where we love our Sunset. We love Peterborough. They can't offer a beach, right?
Yeah, correct.
To people, right?
There's something about a racetrack near a beach, right, boys?
Yeah.
Something about it.
Like we call it the Daytona of Ontario.
Mhm.
Yeah, right. It's got its unique thing about it, and it's pretty cool.
Exactly. And the experience again of having cars at a local car show, again, something that a lot of racers maybe don't think about. You have to get out there. If you want people to experience racing, to know about it, they have to find it somehow. We've talked about it, Graydon and I, countless times about how, for example, the Pinty Series needs to have cars in downtown Toronto at Dundas Square just to promote them being at the Toronto Indy, or just the fact that they're around, being in the Santa Claus Parade, something that gets a ton of viewers, right?
I agree.
Something of that nature. And the fact that you guys are going out and doing this shows the commitment of a small track wanting to get people to go there. And you've already got some names that have talked about coming in. Sounds like they're going to. We talked about Chris Lawrence. You talked about it. He's got the interest, wants to go there and race. You've got more and more people there. I believe you got late models, people wanting to come out and race those at Sauble. Obviously, for us at an OSS, Sauble always puts on a great show for our guys. And again, from the stands, we had somebody filming the races. I couldn't believe how there's nothing obstructed from his view. You can see the entirety of the track from where you're sitting. And that, for me as a race fan, is number one. Because I want to see everything that happens, especially when the cars come down the chute. That's always the coolest.
It's true, bud. Like, it's true what they say, bud. Like, whether you're front row or top row, like, there is no bad seat in the house there. It's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, as a team that's come together quite new, right? I mean, this was a new experience for you guys. What would you grade yourself, Steve, this year?
What would I rate myself this year?
What would we grade yourself for?
What would we grade ourselves?
Grade for Graydon.
That's a tough question to answer.
I mean,
because we're the best. In our own minds, our little peanut minds.
We're still rookies. We got into this to have fun, guys. Get out there, get on the track, let's have fun. I've been going to Sauble for 20 some years now, watching racing there. So, even the thought of me getting out there, I got on finally at the end of the year and drove the car with no one else, of course, around. But what an experience! And the thought that I would actually be able to do that someday, it wasn't there. So being able to do that was amazing. So if you just look at the fun factor, did we succeed with our goals? Yeah. So I'm going to give ourselves a 10 out of 10 there, because every goal we set this year, we hit. And then some.
And then some. We actually went beyond that.
So,
because who the hell thought we'd take that much time out of a car?
Yeah.
And there's another thing. You've got 4 people owning a race car. 4 people are still friends at the end of the season, so we did something
remarkable.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
No, it's
yeah.
On that personal rating. Oh yeah, it was a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like Cam, we were laughing, and I told you I wanted to get a top 10.
Yep.
Remember that back at Monoram?
Yep.
I'll never forget it. And I'm telling you, this year we're going for a top 5, and we damn near got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we get into the right heat race, now that we understand it more, we could get a checker. And that's something to really go after, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And to see the way our cars come along, I think we can achieve it. Like our best finish this year, Cam, was a 7th. So,
I believe, boys. I believe.
We did her. Hey, that's great. Graydon popped off an 11th out of 50.
He did.
I know. I missed the top 10.
Cars,
that's like my motto of my season is missed it by 1. I always miss a feature, or I miss a top 10.
We were
sitting by that much.
We were sitting with Graydon's family during that race, Steve and I, because we were spotting for Andrew right after the race. And if I could have thrown something at that car to give him that, he almost had that guy. He had a half a car, and he had his 10th spot, man. I think he won it when he got through that. When he took the checker, I was cheering so loud you would. It was fantastic.
It was one of the more exciting races to watch this year. Probably because we were just sitting back watching it. Like you said, we were at the stands ready for Andrew's race coming up. So there was nothing for us to do except just watch and enjoy it.
I'll tell you, it sure as hell was fun driving in it.
I mean, the one nemesis that car has is cautions. And you saw that, Graydon. You have a caution. It takes us 3 laps to get back up to speed. And that's really the only thing that hurts us. That's what kept us out of 4th that one time. We had a caution with just a few laps to go. Well, we were in 4th.
Yeah.
Right
and I think for me as like as a young driver, as you would call it, like the cars that I drove this year, with all due respect to Chris and to Tim and Donna, they aren't powerhouses. They're momentum-based cars. Like Rabbit, Chris's the BT Racing car is an automatic. The 2.2 Sunfire, I mean, they aren't breakneck horsepower. They are very momentum-based. You got to keep them wound up, and like sudden stops or cautions and that sort of thing are real momentum killers. That sort of stuff. So it's really neat being able to learn as a driver, kind of they're all different cars, but kind of the same application basically is just try and keep them wound up as much as possible. And that by the time I got to you guys and kind of had a half a clue of what I was doing, and I was like, hey, I like this track. I feel like I could really do something here. Man, it was one hell of a fun time. And we're not giving away any trade secrets here, but man, that car just felt so good and so into the track that, man, and even if you said like it was a little hurt and a little down on horsepower, I mean, to be able to just like go out there and throw everything you can at it and still hang with them. And like we said, we almost knocked down a top 10 there, man. That was something to hang my hat on for the season. That was pretty friggin' rad.
Yeah.
No, so rating us out, we achieved everything we wanted to plus. So,
good.
And very, very happy doing it and had a ton of fun. That was the biggest part. We had more fun than
job one, right?
It's the biggest thing that people forget.
The
biggest thing that people forget to do.
Is
they take it too serious, and then people's feelings get hurt, and people spend too much money, and then they end up hating it, and then they're out of it. So having fun is the biggest thing, and no bigger thrill for myself than seeing my man get out there and race. Having a dream, but not just the fact that he got out there and raced. It was this time around he got out there and had a chance. Not saying that he wasn't in good equipment before, but he had an opportunity. You could see him wheeling and dealing. He got stuck behind Lucas in one restart, and I knew that I could hear him gripping that steering wheel and cursing as loud as he could. Kindly, though, of course, always respectful of his other racers.
Yeah.
But we had that one final caution, and I remember talking to him on the phone after, and he had said, stupid caution, I could have, and I was like, he had a top 10 up until that caution. But the biggest thrill for me was that video that was posted with your reaction, both of you, and his sons reacting.
Oh, that
was possibly the best, most emotional moment. Yeah,
I'll show you the video.
Most emotional.
Right, yeah, I think Jess shot that.
It was, and I was like, if there's something that I can just show to Graydon anytime to make him cry, right there. That shows so much, because if people ever want to question getting into motorsports, look at what it does to the family members that get to see you live out your dream. Because I'm telling you, as somebody who wasn't there, I was crying seeing him finish in 11th. You can say, oh, it's 11th. That's not that great. It's achieving a lifelong dream and being competitive at a track he'd never raced before, at a place he hadn't practiced before, in a car he'd never sat in before.
Right.
So again, Graydon tends to, beat himself up about stuff. But what I'll tell you right now is that he deserves a ton of credit for doing that, because without you guys kicking his ass, without you guys supporting him and being the way that you guys are, I don't know if he would have had that success. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving him that opportunity, because it meant the world to me to see him get to go out and do it.
Thanks for staying up until 3:30 or 4 in the morning or whatever.
That was your fault, Graydon. That was your fault. My wife told us to go to bed, and then when Jess came and got us at 3:30 and told us to go to bed, that's when I thought it was time to listen.
See, this is funny, Pops, because I believe the story was that it was your fault.
Well, that's true.
We're all pointing fingers at each other.
It was at my trailer, and he was just down the road.
It's always his fault at the trailer.
It's always my fault, because that way it's no problem. And I will tell you, when you sit in the stands with Jess, you're talking about that night there again.
Yeah.
It took about 2 weeks for the bruises to go away from the back of my arm, because I was sitting down from Jess, and she kept hitting me. Where is he? What's he doing? Because we had race monitor on.
Yes.
And she wanted to know exactly. And when he crossed the line with the checker flag, she hit me about 3 times. Did he get 11th? Did he get 11th? Even the boys were freaking out. They didn't know until we could see it on the monitor, because it's not correct drive. We started cheering and forgot to tell them.
Yep. The best part is that's on video too, so you can always rewatch it. What do you get? What do you get?
One of my favorite.
It was great.
So there's always stuff that we want to know about, and CGC Racing is not done by any means. You guys have plans for 2024, so let's hear what the plans are for CGC Racing.
Well, I think that the biggest announcement is we're going to have a second car.
A second car.
We need to expand what we're doing, because we're having so much fun. Why not have twice the fun? Except for the crew chief.
Well, what we did, we sat and talked as a team, and because we do have 4 drivers, and then my son is very much into racing. We actually got him out testing this year. He got a chance to drive it. We've invited him on for a partnership, so there's 5 of us now. Well, there's 1 seat. You got 5 asses, 1 seat. So now we're going to have 5 asses and 2 seats. And that's going to give us the opportunity again to invite you, Graydon, to come to Sauble Beach. Here's the invitation officially, to come and drive one of our cars again. It's an open invitation to you. And I will tell you this. Don't screw me up in the corner, because I will wreck my own car. I'm getting used to it now.
We're going to be, unfortunately,
I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess he's going to refuse. I don't think he's going to be wanting to do that.
I think I scared him with wrecking him in the corner, Cam.
Two of our owners that also drive. Well, one of them drives for sure. The other one, she's hopped in it a few times near the end of the year for fun. They're gone again this year for half the summer. So that kind of posed a problem. And I kind of threw it out one night to Graydon and said, hey, what are you doing?
But now, so
we
at
can
that
use some
point,
help here. We need someone to drive.
We're going to have 3 drivers. Like John and Kathy are going away on a holiday for about 5 or 6 weeks. So in the heat of the summer, when it's really the best time to be racing, they're going to be on a trip. So we are going to need some butt time in a seat, because our goal is to keep the car counts up at Sauble.
Yep.
Yep.
Because that makes it fun for the fans.
Yep.
That makes it good for the track. It makes it fun for us because it keeps Steve and I out of trouble through the week because we got to fix them. And it's just fun all the way around. We're just having a blast. So, and again, it's bringing family back together. Like my son's going to be involved now, and it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a really good time.
And I'll tell, like, for everyone watching and listening to this, my wife, my sons, I mean, from birth, I dragged my kids to races and camping and stuff, and my wife loves camping, and God love her as we get deeper into this podcast venture, and now that I've been bitten by this racing bug myself, it's only worse that she gets dragged all over to the speedways. But yeah, as you guys know, she definitely fell in love with Sauble Falls Tent and Trailer Park, and having the falls, I mean, literally within a stone's throw of the park, access to all the hiking trails and the beautiful water features around, not to mention the beach itself and all the shopping and stuff. That's something that really appeals to my wife. So for this selfish driving thing of mine to be a part of what the CampGround Crew Racing team is, it's really cool for me, and it's just such a good fit. I mean, we knew that pretty shortly after I arrived at the trailer park that on Labor Day weekend. So I can't wait to hit 2024. This is really seriously going to kind of shape a lot of what my story of what the season will look like. I can't wait to attack the same place a few times and really kind of make gains for the team and for me personally. It's going to be super fun to see what we can get out of it next year, boys.
Well, I'm telling you,
I can't thank you enough.
Well, you're more than welcome, honest to God, Graydon, and I'm telling you, that track will make you very humble.
Yeah.
Like I said, that sucker changes from one week to the next. It changes from a race to a race, but I'm telling you, she's a challenge, and she's a ton of fun to go play on.
Maybe that's why we keep coming back, because we've been married for a long time. They change minute to minute, don't they?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
We got to bring in that husband of the year reference there again.
Oh, we're getting a trophy made up for that one, Graydon, if you're going to come race. Because I'm telling you, you and I were running neck and neck that weekend.
Yeah.
To see who was winning husband of the year.
Yeah, what did you win that for? Not racing, that's for sure.
No, nothing to do with racing.
Cam, rein us in here, Captain.
Well, I would, but now, of course, with these announcements, the old ticker is thinking of new and exciting things to do, like a Graydon Bun and Pops tracker to see who does better in the races that you guys race against.
I like that.
That would be fun.
I feel like a head-to-head is needed here.
Yeah,
and
perfect.
I think that whoever doesn't succeed, something needs to happen with that. So
now we do have to, like, this is all like we got to wait for the schedules to come out and everything, absolutely. And hammer out dates and all that sort of stuff. But we'll be in one of those cars. I'll leave the numerical rights to the boys there, but I'll be in one of the two CGC cars a bit this season.
Cam, I'm going to drive down and pick you up, and I'm bringing you to Sauble for one of those weekends.
We talked about renting a van too, Cam, like one of those paper bag or the bag over your heads, and throwing you in a van. And
we're not going to do any abductions here. That's not. That's not really
good fun.
Yeah, after the experience you two guys have, we'll leave that out. We'll just invite you. How's that?
I swear I love Sauble. I swear I love it. But we definitely want to make sure that you guys get recognized because you guys have a great social media presence. We want people to follow along on your story. Can you guys shout out your social media and all the people that helped you get to the racetrack this year? all of your amazing partners and the people that did it.
Yeah, we got very fortunate. We're already hard at work on our campaign for next year because we gotta fund another car.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want it just. We want it to look like a race car, and we want sponsors on it. We want to get our partners on the car, and so we're already going to work on both cars and seeing what we can do to get them both fully funded and make sure that they're in every race. So that's kind of our goal.
Yeah.
So like just this past year, we'll start off with thanking our sponsors. We had Sauble Tent and Trailer Park, Two Speed Motorsports, Sarah Tizzett Group, Stickers and Scuffs. Thank you guys for being on the car because I'm telling you, everything that you two do makes our sales job easy when it comes to getting it on, when I can tell people where to go and watch and see things. We had Ron Murphy Inc., True Center Auto Shop, Town and Country Fencing, Nadlin's Collision, Bob's Towing, JD and the Valerians, Speedy Auto Surface, KBR Auto Parts, Jomo Media. John jumped in there and he come up, but he can't come to Sauble anymore, by the way.
Yeah, there's a problem.
I have banned him from CGC Racing. He came up to put a GoPro in our car for me to drive for him on what weekend was that? The August long weekend.
Yes.
Second time he's come.
Second year in a row.
Second year in a row. We got rained out. So he is to mail. John, if when you see this, don't bother coming next year. Just please mail the GoPro to me, or I will come down and pick it up in Flamborough, wherever the hell you live. I will put it in the car and hit the start button. Stay away from our track.
Or bring a Sauble Speedway sized umbrella.
We had 2 rainouts and he was there. And I'm not liking that guy for that. We had a lot of laughs about that. Him and I were laughing pretty good. I was actually trying to get Megan to bring her car up and race with us. And then we got a sponsor late in the year to top us off, Wami Air Filters out of Mexico. So that's really cool because so that you guys understand that too. You are now being watched internationally. You're being watched. Stickers and Stuffs is being watched in the United States and Mexico because they're following. We've given them the links to you so they can get the updates.
Well, that's
just
awesome.
So you know.
That's so cool, eh, Cam? I mean, thanks, boys. I mean, that's wow. I mean,
yeah, we had a great year with our sponsors. But I got to say, while we're sitting here, we've got to thank you guys, not just for being on a car, but for everything you've done this year and continue to do over the years since you started. In a few short years, look what you guys have grown and what you're doing for grassroots racing now. And I know Pinty Series and stuff's in there too. It's always good to see that too. What you're doing for racing in Ontario, how's that?
Yeah,
it is absolutely incredible. So I want to just take a moment and thank you guys for that too.
And I
appreciate that. And yes, you are a superstar, Cam. That's why we treated you like that.
Yeah,
That was amazing.
And
Cam the man.
I am so thrilled to see you guys, John and Megan and Feeney, getting together. And it's so cool because you're promoting all the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You guys, one of you guys is going to be at every one of the tracks sometime on a weekend.
Yep.
And that is so cool to see all of you getting together and getting grassroots out there from Peterborough to Sauble. This is a big bloody province, guys, and it's so cool that it's getting covered corner to corner.
That's it exactly, boys. Is that we all kind of have our own spin, like even within our own brand, Stickers and Scuffs. I mean, Cam has very obviously a little more polish and finesse to this end of things, whereas I'm a little more crude and bare bones and just like get the stuff out.
You are the Scuff, remember?
That's right. I mean, it's very true to our label. I mean, that's exactly why we kind of landed on that name. We are very much.
Let's not shy away from the credit, Graydon. Who got the name? Who came up with the name and the reasons for it? That was Mr. Graydon Bunn that came up with that.
So. I was a language artist.
It's perfect, man. It's perfect. But it fits you two guys 100%. Now that you say it, perfect.
But that's the case for us. But then also now, as we said, we don't believe that racing and time in racing in Ontario and Canada. Who knows how many years we have left of it? It's too small of a marketplace for podcasters to be
bickering,
competing to compete amongst ourselves. I mean, there's friendly competition. I mean, it's racing. I mean, there's friendly competition.
Absolutely.
I mean, but we're by and large towing the rope in the same direction, and that's what racing needs: is the exposure and the testimonials from fans that just love it so damn much. And that's, I'm not trying to toot our horns, but I'm just tooting the horns of what we're doing here as we build this kind of little podcast landscape. It's a cool thing to be a part of, and we're definitely so glad to tout the brand of guys like you. I'm so glad that we were able to make last summer happen, and what this has led to and what it's going to lead to. And it's a good time to be a fan of racing in Ontario. Would you guys agree?
Absolutely, it is. It's been an amazing year for us, but yeah, I'm biased right now. It's been my favorite year of racing at Sauble.
Yeah,
we were actually racing.
Yeah.
So.
But it's like, as a small business owner too, you guys are achieving on kind of multifaceted levels. You're racers, you're owning a business, and and you're prevailing here. That's pretty friggin' cool.
Yeah, it is cool, and the fun factor is it just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah.
And if there's anything I can say out there to any fan that watches your podcast, if you've got that itch that we had, and I understand the cost of racing, but what we did was we looked at it. We got a group of friends together. You cut everything by 4, and you get into a good bone stocks class at any track, and you can make it work. Mm-hmm. And just for example, we went out, and you can go out and buy a car, race ready with a cage, may need a few things for under $2,000. Divide everything by 4, guys, and then figure out how many times you go to the beer store, how many movies you go to, or whatever your vice is.
Yeah.
And it's cheap. Racing is cheap. When you put the analogy together, all the crazy shit I like to do, I'm better off racing.
Be careful what you say. My wife's going to make me quit drinking beer so I can keep doing this.
Yeah, I know. I was starting to think that too, Steve.
Hey, don't bring stuff like that
But you're right. But Pops, man, you nailed it so good there.
Well, and no, it's the truth.
Well said.
It's the truth, and it's brought us to the point where we know how economical it'd be. Yeah, what the hell? Let's put another car on the track. Let's have another seat to have some more fun with.
Yeah,
like I even put it out to Feeney to come up and get in the car and drive it.
Yeah, you guys are running 8 cylinders. You're just running 2 cars.
When I was chatting with him, I said, "Don't come without your race gear. You never know."
Yeah,
that's right.
Let's throw you two in and have a podcast race. There's something we should do.
Feeney has beat that drum forever. He wants to do that so bad. And,
well, CGC Racing will give you the equipment.
There you go.
There's a challenge to you two. You and Feeney figure it out. We'll give you the night.
That will be done. If Feeney wants it to happen, I'm in.
We'll leave the challenge up there. We want to thank Pops Campbell, Steve Kleine for joining us. Once again, you can catch CGC Racing on social media, Instagram. They're on Facebook. They're pretty much everywhere. So make sure if you want to follow them, you follow us on Facebook, and we'll send you right their away. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on the Stickers and Scuffs podcast.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks, guys.